Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be talking about the level mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! That was never really utilized. A while ago I talked about the columns in Yu-Gi-Oh! And maybe someone at Konami was watching my video, and there's actually a card in the comics, and it might actually come out that actually, has an effect where it depends on where you place cards on the field. Now, I think that the level mechanic in the game wasn't really utilized to its potential, because now there's so many other cards. I think it'd be cool to revisit the level archetype, and each one of these level monsters, they all have different ways to special summon the next level in the monster. Now I really like Horus's level up system. Basically, Horus attacks over a monster, and if it destroys a monster by battle, you can send it to the graveyard and special summon the next level. And then finally you can get out your stronger monster. And I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of like your monster attacks, it gains experience, and then it levels up. I think that is awesome. And perhaps in the future, if Konami's watching this, maybe they can make more level support and more level monsters, because I like the concept of leveling up as far as attacking a monster. It just reminds me of Pokemon, which I think is really cool that your monsters level up by destroying an opponent's monster by battle. I think that is a good way. But I really like Alert Queen's level up system. I think that each one of them can have their own level up system. I think that's cool too. Basically, this one is kind of like a relinquished. But they're too conditional, and it requires too many cards in order to do their combos relatively fast. There is a card called Level Up, where basically you send one face-up level monster to the graveyard and you special summon the next level. I mean, you could technically get out a level 8 card first turn. The thing with some of the level cards is they don't go in order. For example, for Horus it goes 4, 6, and then 8. Whereas Silent Magician, it just goes from 4 to 8, and some of them go from level 3s, and they just go out of order. And I think that it would be cool to see them go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they don't have to get that high, but I'm just saying 1, 2, 3 would be much easier, I guess, to say. That way people wouldn't think that there's something in between. But that said, let's go check out some of the level cards, and then I'll kind of just talk about each one in general. So first off, we have Alert Queen, level 7. We're just going to be talking about the final forms, because the earlier forms are kind of similar to them, but they're just not as good. And these cards are kind of just too slow, but I think 2 of these cards are actually okay. Not against the meta today, but they're just an okay card. Horus actually saw some play, believe it or not. Horus and Jinzo, those were best friends. If you can get both those out, you basically had game. But Alert Queen level 7, her effect is kind of like Relinquish. So once per turn, you can equip a monster, and then if it would be destroyed by battle, the equipped monster is destroyed instead. Although she has really low attack, and she doesn't get that boost that Relinquish gets when you take the monster. She's only 1500, and 1500 that is level 7. I expected it to have at least a decent amount of attack, or just a better effect. At least gain half the attack of the monster that you absorb would be awesome. Next up, we're gonna check out Armed Dragon level 7. Now, this card was a kind of a collector's card. A lot of people just wanted the Armed Dragon. I don't know why. Maybe perhaps it's kind of nostalgia version of Dark Armed Dragon, because Dark Armed Dragon kind of has these spikes on the shoulder as well. That's what I don't know if it's related to Dark Armed at all, but it definitely kind of looks like some of the artwork was inspired, or I think Dark Armed came after this card, but Dark Armed was probably inspired by Armed Dragon level 7. But this one's effect is you can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the sent monster's attack. So relatively mediocre effect, and it's got really low defense, so you can probably you can book a moon attack over with Guaiba, and then bam, Guaiba effect, right? Pretty nasty. But Dark Lucius level 8. So if this card was special, let's go to the actual effect. So your opponent's monsters that this card destroys by battle are removed from play, and their effects are negated. So that's not bad, but I mean, to get these cards out, it's kind of just too hard in today's meta. But his effect is okay. But back to the low defense. What's up with all these low defenses? Most of the level cards, well, you're not gonna be able to book them in Horus, because Horus will probably negate that. But a lot of these cards have low defense. I just noticed that right now. But Silent Swordsman, also low defense. But this card is unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. During your standby phase, after this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard to special summon. Oh, that is not the max level of Silent Swordsman. I thought that was the highest level. There is another one? Okay, well, let's check out the highest level, because that's what is important. So it's unaffected by, can't be normal summon / set. Must be special summoned by Silent Swordsman level 5. But if you remember, we had level up. It ignores its summoning conditions, so you can definitely use it. So it negates all spell effects on the field. Okay. That's interesting. That card's actually not bad, but again, you have to level up too many times, and I think Silent Magician would be a little bit faster because Silent Magician just has level 4, so you go from level 4 straight to level 8, and I think that is much faster. Next up, wait, we get to, Mystic Swordsman. That's another one. Okay, so there's Silent Swordsman and Mystic Swordsman. So Mystic Swordsman, his effect is. At the start of damage step, if this card attacks a face-down defense position monster, destroy that monster, and if you do, you can place it on top of your opponent's deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. Well, that's not too bad. I think that card's mediocre. It kind of has like a lock effect, I guess you could say. But if your monster is just setting a card, they can just summon it and then let it die, and then that way they can still get their draw phase next turn, or they can just, not do anything. Whereas Yada, that card actually locks you. Next up, Silent Magician, level 8, and I think this one, as well as Horse, is the only one that's like realistically decent. But this card is unaffected by your opponent's spell effects, so I think that is pretty awesome. And it's got 3,500 attack too, and I think that anything in the meta really needs to have 3,200 in order for it to be like really good. Like as far as just having the large attack, because a lot of people are playing like Dino Rabbit right now, and the thing with Dino Rabbit is they always have Lance face down, so you basically have to have a monster with 3,200 or more attack in order to be really successful, unless you have the effect to negate a spell and trap, like Shien obviously can negate a spell or trap, whereas some of these big monsters, they end up crashing. They try to attack over Logia, and then a Forbidden Lance pops out, and you're very sad because of that. But Silent Magician, pretty decent, because all you have to do is normal summon Silent Magician level 4, and then activate level up, and then you can get out a 3,500 attacker that's unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. And that is pretty good against certain decks, but remember Atlanteans, they'll just be like, oh, it's cool, let me just discard this water. Oh, hey, I'll just send that Silent Magician to the graveyard. And then lastly, Horus, the Black Flame Dragon, level 8. Now this one is probably my favorite, just because I like the level up system that Horus has, because it's like it attacks a monster by battle, and then it basically levels up. I think that one is definitely the coolest, and it actually probably has the best effect. So his effect is during either player's turn, when a spell card is activated, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it, and it says you must control this face-up card to activate and resolve this effect. But I'm pretty sure that you would probably negate anything that would essentially make Horus go face down, like Book of Moon or something like that. But yeah, realistically, Horus is probably the best one. Silent Magician is not bad. I originally was going to make a level up deck, but there's very limited support. Like, the best card that the level up mechanic is level up. That's probably their best card, and like most of these cards that are like they require like multiple level ups and the other cards, you're looking at a deck that has consistency issues, as well as kind of using too many cards just to get out one monster, and if that monster dies, you essentially lose. But I still think that if you can successfully get out Horus, it is pretty good. But you just gotta watch it for that one-dimensional prison, and then that means you've used, if you normal summon this, you level up twice using 3 cards, and then it's hand or deck, which is awesome. So if you draw the card, it's not that bad. But that means you have to have basically 3 cards to make 1 card, and if your opponent D-prisons or bottomless is Horus, I think you'll be a very sad panda. But hopefully they will, improve the level archetype in the future, or I don't know if you want to call it archetype or mechanic in the game, but I definitely think that there should be more level monsters, and I like the idea that, I like the Horus idea as far as, like I said, killing a monster because you gain like XP kind of. And hopefully in the future they will be making more level support. If you guys actually know what cards can combo well with level cards, I actually want to make a level deck, but I am absolutely lost. I don't really know where to start. It doesn't matter what level monster has the support, I'll definitely try it out. I still think Horus and Silent Magician probably are the best ones, but if you guys know some combos with like Allure Queen that I just don't know, let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to make a level deck, but I'm very unexperienced with making level up decks, other than making a Horus deck. But anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see some support from Konami in the future with the level cards, as well as new level cards. I think the mechanic is kind of cool. But thanks for watching, have a great day. Asian Eyes signing out.